Hey guys, I'm Alan Zirkle with Mr. Z's Music Lessons, and today we'll be doing an acoustic guitar tutorial over Nobody Loves Me Like You Do by Tomlin. And if you'll check in the description of the video, there is a link to a tab down there, and also you'll need a capo on the 4th fret because this song is in the key of B. And there'll also be tabs on the screen that you can follow along with if you need to. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with the intro, and I'm going to go ahead and finger pick this. You could play this with a pick. There are some places where it switches between strumming, so I'll finger pick the picking parts, and then when it switches to strumming, I'll go ahead and use a pick. So we start off on the 5th fret up from the capo on the D string with the ring finger, and then we'll play the open G string, and then we'll play the 3rd fret of the B string. And in my picking hand, I'm using my thumb to play the D string, the pointer finger to play the open G, and then the middle finger to play the B string. And then our pattern would be, so you're picking D, G, B, G, D, G, B, G. So we'll do that for one measure, and then we'll come down to the 2nd fret of the D string and the 1st fret of the B string. And we'll pick the same pattern, and we'll slide up 2 frets to the 4th fret of the D string and the 3rd fret of the B string. And we'll play that for 2 beats. Alright, and we'll just do the same pattern twice. So the intro goes. And that's it for the intro. And then for verse 1, we're going to start out the same way. And I switched how I was holding my guitar just because you'll see here in a minute there's a part in verse 1 where there's this really big stretch. And I just couldn't quite reach it. So sometimes if you prop the guitar neck up some, it'll help you stretch a little bit farther. So I've just got my foot resting on a case that brings my guitar up a few inches. All right, so here's what verse 1 will be like. And it'll go. Then we're going to go down to the 2nd fret of the D string. And then we'll put our pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string. Then you can take that 3rd finger off and just play open D. And we'll play this progression twice. Okay, then we'll start out the same way for the 2nd half of verse 1. Here's the part I was having some trouble with. We're going to stretch all the way to the 7th fret of the D string, and then we'll keep our 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. Alright, then we'll come back to 5 and 3. Then we'll be on the 2nd fret of the D string, and the 1st fret of the B string. And then we'll play a chord. So we'll be on the 2nd fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the B string, and then the 4th fret of the D string. We'll pluck all those at once. So I'll try going through all of verse 1 for you once. That's it for verse 1. Then on verse 2 we will have some little variations in here, but it starts out the same way with that 5 and 3, and then dropping down to the 2nd fret of the D string and the 3rd fret of the B string. And then we're going to go back up to the 4th fret of the D string and the 3rd fret of the B string. And we'll do the same pattern twice, so I'll go ahead and play that for you. That's what that sounds like. And then the 2nd half of verse 2, we'll start out again on 5 and 3. We'll go up to our stretch to 7, and back to 5 and 3, and down to 2 and 1 again, and then we end on that same chord again there at the end. Alright, so let me play all of verse 2 for you. So it goes like this. that's it for verse 2. And the hardest part about that song is that stretch, which is quite a killer, but if you can make it past that, the rest of it's not too bad. And then we're going to go to the chorus, and here I would go ahead and use a pick. This is kind of where you can start strumming. So we're just going to need, let's see, basically 4 chords for this. So we'll need a G chord, which for that I'm just going to put my second finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and my 4th finger on the 4th fret of the high E string, and we're just going to strum this one time, so we'll go. Then for our C over E chord, we'll just play the 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. And since it has that C/E, it means you're playing a C chord, but the lowest note of the chord is an E. So we're going to strum all the strings. And then we'll go to a D chord, which is the 1st finger on the 1st fret of the G string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, and the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. We'll strum from the D string down. And we'll do that same thing 3 times. So we'll go G, C over E, then D, do the same thing again. Back to G. I'll just play regular C chords, so just only strum from the A string down, and then we'll go to a D chord. Then we can go back to our picking pattern. Alright, so that's it for the chorus. Then on verse 3, we're going to go ahead and strum. So we're going to start off with a G chord, and our strumming pattern will be down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So it would be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. And we'll go back to our C over E chord for half of a measure, so it would be like half of that pattern. 1 and 2 and up. Then we'll go to a D over F sharp chord, which will put our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And we'll play half of a measure there. Then we'll go back to G again. And C over E, D over F sharp, and C, 1 measure, D 1 measure. Then we have an E minor. We'll put our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. We'll play that for 1 pattern, 1 measure, and D over F sharp. So let me play all of verse 3 for you once. That's it for verse 3. Then for the second chorus, we're going to play the same chords that we did on the first chorus, but we're going to go ahead and strum full out, that way it's a little bit fuller. And we'll strum that same pattern that we did on verse 3, that down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So I'll just play through this chorus once for you just so you can hear it. So that's all you can play on chorus 2, and then after that you have an instrumental that you'll just cut out for. There's no acoustic there. And then for the bridge, go ahead and cut out for like the first half of that, and we'll talk about how to play the second half of the bridge here in just a second. Then we'll go over the bridge. Our chord progression here is C, D, E minor, and G over B. Let's go over how to play that G over B chord real quick, and then we'll go through it. So the G over B, I'm going to play with my first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. And our strumming pattern on every single one of these chords is going to be the same as what we did during the chorus, that down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So I'll just play through this once for you, starting on our C chord. C for 2 measures. And that'll get you all the way through the bridge. Alright guys, I think that's it for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helps you learn this song. It's a really fun acoustic part to play, so I hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions or anything in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.